So everyone, thanks for joining us. The presentation today will have the same format as the other ones. It will start with the presentation and then some Q&A that Alex will answer after. So let's dive right into it, since we already had a small introduction from Alex's side. We'll start with our mission as usual. It's important to keep in mind what we are doing here, and which is to enable the growth of a financial ecosystem built on open source, decentralized blockchain infrastructure. We at Request Network really believe that the future of finance can be more efficient on top of the blockchain. So our mission is to create those tools that will support, establish that transition from off-chain to on-chain. And maybe some of you still remember this image that I shared like 2 quarters ago, which shows the vision or long-term vision into what Request can become. We see it as a multi-sided platform, which has 2 major sides. As a quick recap, on the left side, the Web3 invoicing apps and payment apps that generate data into the protocol, and on the right side, the applications that read that data to provide some kind of service. But this vision, it's pretty complex. So in order to show like the short-term efforts, we've divided into smaller versions of it, more compacted ones that focus on specific parts. The first one is financial operations, that focus on the data creation and the accounting apps. So the seamless movement of data between these 3 apps, and looks more like this. And we've been working very hard to try to showcase this use case where payment apps, you can make a payment using a payment app, and that will automatically be displayed on the invoicing app that you or your company uses, and on the accounting app also, without having to kind of download the data and input it there, or building some kind of centralized bridge through an API, something like that. And on the latest efforts that we've done last Q2, and we are currently doing on Q3, we have the following efforts. So first one, I want to start with request invoicing. It was released on the second quarter, and we call it a template. Hopefully, some of you already experimented with it. We call it a template, but it's also like an white label solution. It's built with web components to make it very easy for you to kind of copy it and integrate into your project. And it easily allows you to kind of add invoicing features to any project or any product. It's useful for builders building invoicing apps because it gives like a very easy, quick start with basic functionality for it. But also we are using it to target marketplaces, and Mariana is there. She's been doing much of this outreaching work. We've been trying to get with marketplaces. I mean, companies or platforms where users need to pay each other. Stuff like bug bounty programs. So where the white hackers need to invoice the company. Stuff like hackathon platforms where the hackers need to invoice the sponsors of those bounties, amongst others that are similar to these ones. It's especially useful if there is some kind of company on one of the sides, because if it's peer-to-peer, people are not that interested to get an invoice showing the transaction details. And although request invoicing has been released last quarter as a V1, during this quarter we've added some features. We kind of fixed some bugs that it had, and until the end of this quarter we'll still be adding new features and these features are fundamental. to some of the companies wanting to integrate it, which is encryption and new payment networks like batch payments, transferable receivables, conversion payments, amongst others. Next one, we have request checkout. Request checkout, the first version was released like a couple weeks ago. It is a payment widget that allows you to quickly start accepting crypto. We've built a playground for it, where you can kind of interact with it. You can change, you can see some of the customizable features that it has, and you at the end you'll see like the code for it if you want to copy it and input it into your website, and get paid in crypto just like that. On the next version, we'll be adding some more features also to it. We'll be adding a swap in the middle for people that want to pay in one currency, but the seller wants to receive in another. And we'll also be doing a more specialized demo where it showcases its use, especially like in a template of a e-commerce shop. With this application is very similar to how request invoicing is to invoicing apps. This is request checkout stands for payment apps, and it gives builders a quick head start on creating basic payment functionality inside their apps. And apart from that, we are targeting a lot of different e-commerce shops that want to start accepting crypto easily. Moving on to RegScan. We've had some questions about RegScan. We are going to release the request scan this week as an MVP. It will be used already to be seen and tested by for workshops in Warsaw, ETH Warsaw that will attend, and for the hackers to test it out. It will have basic functionality. It will allow builders and users of Request Network to see the requests created in the network, and we are planning to release a more complete version with extended features and ecosystem metrics that the community has also has been pitching in some ideas for in the next version, probably next quarter. The cool thing about these apps is that not only as by themselves they serve as a quick start to integrate Request Network or to build something on Request Network, but together they are able to showcase this interoperability, right? If you create a payment on Request Checkout, you can easily see it on the invoicing one, on Request Invoicing, and then on the Request Scan also. And it will be very useful for us to have these products also to showcase this network and this interoperability that Request Network allows in an open source manner without having to create integrations between the different applications. Moving on. Compared to, this is like our second approach, and compared to the financial operations one, this is more focused on the invoicing side. You're probably familiar with the factoring term because we've had some builders that were not so successful on top of Request Network trying to build invoice factoring. As a last push here, we are building something that we hope will allow us to get the factoring network to come on top of Request. We are building Request factoring, and what we are trying to achieve with it is we've been seeing that the biggest problem in factoring is trying to get adoption on top of Request Network. It's not on the capital side. There is capital to be deployed to make loans for this or to buy these receivables. it is on the user side. So Web3 is very service focused, it's not very capital intensive like some Web2 industries like manufacturing. And in order to really understand if there are companies and users in Web3 that really want factoring and are able to get their payments at a discount for their future receivables, we are releasing this initiative where we are partnering up with a lot of factoring companies in the space, and we brought in the invoice creators from Request Network, and we are trying to push a lot of content about invoice factoring to the users and the invoice creators on top of Request Network to see if any of them want to come to the factoring side and connect them with the factoring partners that we have. If everything is successful, the end goal of request factoring is to disappear, and as soon as the bridges are connected between the invoice creating apps and the factoring partners. But for now, we are pushing this out and trying to make a big fuss about it to see if we can find users in Web3 that want to factor their invoices. Apart from those two network initiatives that we are trying to build on top of Request, we have the single request proxy that I've talked here previously. I think it had a different name at the time. This is a very technical name. We are trying to build something that allows a request network to be compatible with centralized exchange on the payment side. And also the same initiative will allow companies to build on top of Request Network and bring on their already existing smart contracts. One of the biggest challenges on bringing builders, especially builders that already have some kind of payment smart contract developed, is that in order to be compatible with Request Network, they would have to change their smart contracts, which is hard, especially if they were already audited. And we want to remove that impediment. So single request proxy will be released until the end of this quarter, and we already have some builders on the pipeline waiting for it. Second, we have AI agents. This is a small POC that we tested out. I thought it was very interesting, the results, so that's why I'm sharing it here today. We've got two AI agents. We build a POC where two AI agents talk with each other and negotiate a price on something, and then one of the other creates a request, sends, and the other pays it. It's something interesting. We are going to release and open source the code that we use to do it. So we are also on top of AI agents payments for the near future. Lastly, the team grew during last quarter, so I'm very happy to welcome Rodrigo, our latest hire. Rodrigo is a very skilled and experienced full stack engineer. And since joining Request a month ago, he already got his hands dirty and he developed the MVP of Request Scan by himself. So that was very good. And that finalizes the presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to ask or reach out to me on Discord. And now we will move to the Q&A.
Yes, I will be taking over, but you'll still have to present Francisco if you don't mind, please, so we can
Yeah,
keep
of
the
course.
flow going. And let's get right to it. We did get some questions, not a lot of questions. So thank you for sending them in. First question is, you can see it on the screen, but I'll read it out loud. What is the status of a token utility change? So again, tokenomics. We've all been, discussing this offline, online, but all I can say at the moment is that there are no relevant news. There's no relevant news to share at this particular time. Second question, is there a target date for the release of RexCon? Would it be nice to release it while the crypto community is still buzzing to maximize builder interest? Yes, it would. As Francisco just mentioned, We are releasing it this week. Thank you, Rodrigo, for your help so far. And the MVP obviously is going to be released this week. We cannot wait for people to play with it, test it, see what's missing, and obviously give us feedback on Discord. And it will be a very simple version at the start for reading data from the protocol. More advanced features will be coming in the next quarter. Question number three. Please give a high-level summary of what the team is actively doing to attract new developers. Um, we're using the developer templates that we have spoken about consistently throughout the past 2 months to attract developers and founders alike, supported by an event strategy. So that means builder-focused events, not investor-focused events. It means hackathon sponsoring. It means mentoring during hackathons, and not only it means business development, like Mariana is doing, outreaching all those platforms that are interested in our templates, and also strongly branded communications, catering to technical profiles. If you have noticed, we're not talking about controversial subjects. We're not trying to gain engagement just for the sake of gaining engagement. We're trying to speak to developers and attract them. The launch of the developer templates coincided with a shift in also in how we attract developers and founders alike. So we're looking for developers, but we're also for founders. One does not mean that, if you're the founder, that doesn't mean you can also be a developer, right? So to support the templates, we have slightly changed the communications to show the strengths and the advantages of using these templates. Business development is up and running with hundreds of contacts already contacted. Thank you, Mariana. To ask if they want a demo or to give them a tour of the templates. On the event side, we are pushing the same templates to presentations, workshops, live demos, hackathons. Uh, Again, demos are at the booth, so everybody gets a chance, even if you're somebody in the audience, just strolling around the conference, see what's going on, or if you're participating in a hackathon, you get a chance to see the templates in action. And moreover, for example, on this Friday, we will have an event at Warsaw where we're sponsoring the happy hour together with Optimism and other protocols, and everybody from the conference will come to the happy hour, and we will have 10 minutes there where we'll be demonstrating the templates. So this is a live demo in front of a lot of people that are from this industry, and they are builders. They're not investors, just to make a difference here. And to sum it up, we believe that making things easier for developers and founders, for builders in general, is a very good way to acquire them. And in general, making things easy for anybody that wants to build something will probably turn them onto your solution. Hope that's a satisfying response to whoever asked this question. Francisco, if you could change the slides, please. Thank you. Question number four. Do you still have a relationship with Wintermute for market making? Yes, we do. Not sure who asked this. I hope there's no nefarious intentions behind this question. Question number five. Have you seen any interest from mobile app developers in building on request network? Yes, we have. Many builders actually have started with a simple mobile app instead of a jack of all trades platform. So instead of building as GTA 6, 7, 8, we're building a small Mario game and then iterating on it. Okay, so small product, iterate on it. And we had especially one builder who wanted to use React Native, which the protocol did not support previously. So thanks to our amazing tech team, we made it compatible for future builders. So now you can use React Native to build on request network. And we're also working towards adding more mobile development features to our documentation and to make it easier for people to build on request, like I just said. Question number six, are there any bounties for content creation or some specific marketing activities? I know we had those in the past, but at the moment, no. Though we are looking into reactivating some technical bounties or something similar to bounties. So we'll be discussing that further later on. Question number seven, what are the big milestones for the third quarter? Um, get 3 new builders into the protocol, no matter where they come from, preferably some builders that generate data. Then probably the launch of the templates, launch request checkout, launch request scan, launch request invoicing v3. So another version of the first template that we launched, request invoicing. And this version should add encryption and new payment networks. So I'm happy to announce that yes, we will have encryption soon. When the 3 of them are ready, we can showcase the actual interoperability about request network And since we're on the topic of interoperability, I'd also like to announce that we will have an article coming out very, very soon, maybe perhaps even this week. Francisco's talk on If Varshaw's main stage on, is it Friday? It's Friday, will also be around interoperability. So I would say that one big milestone, not just for the third quarter, but for fourth quarter and actually beyond that, is interoperability. We're really counting a lot on interoperability. Well, that's a mouthful of a word, isn't it? Moving on, is the general plan for the foundation to focus solely on the network and have partners build upon the network? Or is there a plan even for the team to start offering services similar to what the partners are doing? This is an age-old question. At least for now, the plan is to focus on the network by ensuring even a newbie developer or a non-technical founder can use our tools. Um, you can think of it as user-generated content, for example, YouTube. If we build a great environment for people to play with the latest technologies, understand how they work, and how they can add to their existing projects or businesses, then people will thrive in that environment without much interference. And if we had to actually offer those same services ourselves, we would have to scale up quite a bit. And we're not sure that we can actually scale so much to offer so many services to so many different categories of people and businesses. And I think YouTube was a great example for this because look at how good they're doing right now. And in the beginning, if people realized what it can do, you could have like embed a video in a website, right? You didn't have to upload or come up code of your own solution. So making things easier, like we said continuously to this community call, making things easier for people and companies is primordial for our future success. Question number 9. Can you give a breakdown of network usage in percentages for each builder? Maybe not for each builder, but maybe for the top 3 builders. But I think Rexpan is gonna help out a lot on this side. But for now, just looking at the notes here, we have majority, as everybody is probably guessing, is request finance with 97% of all the transactions. Then on the second place, we have interaction. That's INTRXN. In case some of you were worried how it's pronounced, it's interaction. And then we have Joba sharing the first place with Besos or Besos, depends how you want to spell that too as well. And that's about it with the Q&A part. We had only 9 questions. Maybe next time we'll get more. Who knows? And thank you everybody for coming in. This is not the end. We've got one more thing. Alex, you wanna say anything? Shall I introduce you?
Hi. Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
So,
You want me to
yeah,
introduce you? I
I'm
will.
the,
I mean, I said I'll introduce you, right? So,
okay.
this joining us today is not a team member. Who knows? But maybe a future team member. You can never know, right? Alex Astro. He's been integrating requests in all kinds of hackathons for the past year. He's won our prizes multiple times. I think you've won what, like 3 times or twice? Twice.
Uh, I think 3 times.
Three
Yeah.
times. There you go. 3 times in the past 12 months, he's won prizes at hackathons by Integrated Request Network and others as well. So he's come to know our protocol quite well. And now he's building something. I'm not going to say what. He's going to introduce you on what he's building real quick. But he's building something that is using Request and other friends of ours, like Savior, who are doing payment streaming and other protocols, to create something that is generating data. We're looking a lot after projects that generate data so that in turn later on we can focus on projects that consume said data. So without further ado, our number one hackathon winner, Alex, you got it from here.
Thanks for the introduction. So, before sharing my screen and doing a quick demo, I want to say a little bit about what I'm building. So, the platform is called StreamBill. It's an invoicing and real-time payments app. It's the platform that I really wish existed when I was freelancing in Web3. I always had problems with invoicing as a freelancer, especially in the shady sides of Discord. uh, and I always had this problem that I didn't knew when exactly I was going to get paid. And I created this platform to solve this problem, to let people know exactly when they're getting paid, how much money will they have at a certain time, and so on. I'm going to share my screen now to make a quick demo of the app. Can you see it?
Yes. Perfect.
Okay, cool. So this is the application. As you can see, we are on the dashboard right now. Here we have the total expected amount from the invoices that we send to clients, the available to withdraw from streams that are currently ongoing. This is an example of a stream that's ongoing, the invoices sent and the invoices received. Also, a nice little graph here. Let's give a quick tour. Let's first create an invoice. Uh, let's give a name, Alex, an email address. These are optional at the moment as it's in testnet. The customer EVM address. Let's put this one the same as mine. The chain that you want the transaction to be on, because it's multi-chain as well. Let's put the chain that we're currently on, the due date, and the invoice items. Usually it looks something like this: work hours, quantity 10, and price per hour is something like 30. After you click next, you select the type of stream. Currently, only the linear stream is available, with more to come soon. And here you go, you have your invoice, and after you check that everything is okay, you can create it. You are prompted to sign a request network transaction, you sign it. After that, it does the magic on IPFS. And here you go, the invoice has been created. If you go to it, you have two buttons: share invoice to payer, that generates a link to pay the invoice, and view invoice, that opens up a model, and also a generate PDF button. Now, if I go to the invoices received, I see this new invoice that I just made, and it's pending. I'm going to view invoice, and now I get the chance to pay the invoice. I first approve the amount, and after that, we see a simulation that you will stream 300 USDC to this address over 2 days and 5 hours, 4 hours. You can click Start Streaming. You click Confirm, wait for the transaction to finish. And the stream has started. If you go to the invoice page now, you'll see something different. You'll see your balance increasing in real time. And also the feature that I'm most excited about, View Stream Forecast. Here you can see when exactly you will have 60 USDC in your account, for example, with a UTC hour. If I want to withdraw from stream, I can see the available amount here, but also here. I can click on max, I can withdraw it. And I have successfully withdrawn some tokens. Going back to the dashboard, we can see that this new invoice has started streaming and your balance currently increases, as well as this available to withdraw balance that gets the data from all of the active streams across all of the chains that you have. That's a quick demo of the app. I really want this workflow to be robust before adding more and more features. And yeah, that's it at the moment.
I think the app looks absolutely great, and I love the color scheme that you used.
Yeah, really nice.
Thanks a lot.
It's very on brand, I would say, to be honest. With request at least. With request at least. Looks great. What's your other than request and Sabli, are you using anything else?
No, just request and Sablier, keeping it simple.
Okay, okay. And was I right when I was asking, when I was saying actually that maybe you're turning from a hacker to a founder?
Yeah, actually, we had a partnership with Morphel too, like this morning,
Mm.
and I had my users surging up to like 300. And it's been a pretty busy day. Like, I did customer support, fixing bugs and developing new features all at once, all day long. So, yeah, I feel like a founder at the moment, to be honest.
I'm happy with
Nice.
you. 300 users is it's amazing for something that's not even, would you say it's in beta?
It's beta, alpha, testnet, whatever you
Exactly,
want to
yeah.
call it.
There's still a way to go. There's still a way to go. But thank you for coming in and for showing us what you're building. Um, is there anything that you want to add, Alex?
Uh, visit our app and try it out. And
Yeah,
any type of feedback is very, very, very welcomed. Because when different people try the app, they all have different needs. And usually I do it from my perspective, like what I would want to exist, but maybe different people have different needs. So I want to satisfy those needs.
that's exactly what you need to find all kinds of different people from all places, from all walks of life, and ask them to break your app. And
Exactly.
that's actual QA. That's amazing QA if you can do that. Okay, I think it's about time to wrap it up then. We've passed the 30-minute mark. YouTube is gonna fine us if we put the longer videos. No, we're not. I'm kidding. And once again, thank you, Alex, for coming in. I cannot wait to see you at the Eve Warsaw Hackathon. Well, looking forward to what you're gonna build. Probably gonna use Request again, right, Alex?
Yeah, probably.
Probably, yeah. And for everybody else that just tuned in, thank you so much for coming in. I will be uploading the video as soon as possible on YouTube, so like today or tomorrow maximum, and send you guys the video link. If probably Martin or one of the other mods probably recorded it already, but we will be also sending the recording on on our social media channel that we have. So thank you again. Thank you, Francisco. Thank you, Mariana. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, everybody in the audience. I see you there, David. Hi, David. And until next time,
Thank
any questions you have, please do ask them in general. We are more than happy to answer any kind of questions, or if we cannot answer, at least find an answer. So goodbye, everybody. Have a nice day, evening, where you're from. Bye bye.
you. Bye. Have a nice day.
Bye, guys.